The season remains in full swing, and though the summer transfer window is not yet open, there are already lots of transfer news building up until the summer window, and we can get excited ahead of an action-packed and very, very busy summer window. But first off, let's talk about what is already going to be arguably one of the biggest developments of the summer transfer window. Victor, this one's for you. One of the biggest summer transfer news has already happened, or we already know it would happen, because Mohamed Salah has announced that he is finally leaving Liverpool in the summer, and that's going to be a very big one. But two questions here for you, Victor. How much will the Reds miss him, and who are the realistic names that Liverpool can turn to for his replacement?
I don't know. As far as missing him, I'm not too sure after how he has been performing this season and considering no one gets any younger, Salah included. I don't think it would get any better next season either. So I think it's the right move, especially for the club, because had he been sticking around longer, throwing tantrums about getting dropped, even though he's underperforming, I would rather not see that. As for replacements, the club obviously needs to keep moving forward. And at least according to reports, they're looking at Michael Olise, Anthony Gordon, and Yan Diomande. I really don't get the Gordon talk. He's a left winger. And yes, he has been on the radar at Liverpool before. And yes, they could do with wingers on both sides, obviously, but he would not be playing on the right anyway. Realistically, I would like to see a move for Jarrett Bowen with the short term in mind, especially if it comes at a cut price for a West Ham relegation. I don't think Olise will be sold by Bayern, and I think Diomande is too green. Just get Bowen in, buy yourself some time to identify someone who can come in, really hit the ground running, because filling Salah's boots, it's no joke.
Yeah, it's really, really no joke at all. And speaking about no jokes, it's no longer a joke, Max, that Tottenham can also get relegated this season. I mean, it seemed like a joke a few weeks ago, but now it's looking possible that it could yet happen. And the question is, what becomes of their summer transfer plans if they do suffer a relegation in terms of coaching and in terms of players?
That's quite fun how we predicted them to be at least in top four and maybe fighting for title this season, and they end up being in the relegation zone. I mean, it's gonna pretty be hard for them if they relegate, because they would most likely lose at least the half of the starting lineup. Then nobody would like to join them because you'll spend at least one season in championship, but it can end up being not only one season. So I just feel like they have to try and save as much players as they have at the moment, especially because they have at least 10 great players that are injured at the moment. And if they can keep at least half of the squad, if they get relegated, they should be fine. But if a lot of them leave in and you cannot sign anybody big, so you have to dig down in championship contenders and try to steal somebody, it's definitely going to be a hard time for them, for sure.
Wouldn't we love to see Vardy join them and bring them back in the Prem?
I mean, to be fair, that will be their quality. If they do suffer relegation, Vardy is as good enough for them. But anyways, moving on to Tottenham's rivals, Arsenal. Victor, Arsenal, according to reports, are exploring a move for Kvaratskhelia as they are in search of a winger. And it's also understood that the player is considering his options. In your opinion, would that be a welcome move for the Gunners?
Oh my God, I would love to see him in the Prem, whether for Arsenal or any other team, seriously. A pacey, tricky, two-footed winger, sign me up. I think he could tear up the league in the way Saka never did. Kvaratskhelia plays mostly on the left, so it would make a lot of sense for Arsenal to want him. Sell Martinelli while he still holds some value, have Trossard as backup, and just let Kvaratskhelia loose. On the other hand, seeing how chaos-averse Arteta is, I think he might turn Kvaratskhelia into Stuart Downing or something. As far as chances of it happening, I'm very skeptical. He would cost over £100 million. And yes, Arsenal will probably have the budget, but I don't think it would be a smart move for them to spend so much on one player.
Yeah, fair point. We'll have to see how that one plays out. But I do also think it would be a massive upgrade on Arsenal's current options.
Yeah.
But moving on, Max, and this one is off the pitch as well. According to reports, once again, there are now just 3 candidates left in search for the new Manchester United manager role. Michael Carrick himself, Luis Enrique, and Julian Nagelsmann. And the feeling here is that Carrick has outperformed other, contending names like Unai Emery, Glasner, Thomas Frank, and the like. So 2 questions for you, Max. Is Carrick good enough to beat the permanent Manchester United manager? And if not, who is your ideal Carrick replacement?
I mean, I do pay respect for the Carrick, but the only way why he performed that great because they're not playing in Europe and no cup competition, so he have like only one game per week. And I feel like for the next season, if they get to the Champions League, it's definitely gonna be a hard time for him to prepare for the 2 games a week. So I'd say no, not keep him. And out of these two, I just feel like Luis Enrique is not gonna leave PSG. There's just no point of that. So I'd say Nagelsmann is probably a great candidate because of the way of his play style, what he's shown with Bayern and Leipzig and Germany as well. So I feel like out of these options, I would definitely go for Nagelsmann, but that's also not a big chance, I feel like.
Yeah, right.
No,
Interesting.
my biggest problem here is that we're taking the piss saying that Carrick has outperformed Emery.
Well, I mean that's the media taking the piss. A very
My
big one.
God.
But fair enough. On the final note, Victor, this one is also from a manager's perspective. Chelsea, according to reports, I don't know what's going on at the club, but they have given their backing to head coach Liam Rosenior, regardless of whether they fail to qualify for next season's Champions League. But they are also considering Fabregas as one of the potential replacements if they do consider giving Rosenior the sack. The question is, should Chelsea decide to do a managerial change or not?
I mean, Chelsea seem absolutely hell-bent on not bringing in a coach with proper experience, right? Don't get me wrong, Fabregas is doing some incredible things with Como. But he's in the same bracket as Rosenior in terms of being proven at the top level. I'm not saying Harry Redknapp is the way forward, but is there really nothing in between? Emery would be over the moon to actually have a transfer budget. Glasner has shown what he can do. He took Palace into Europe for the first time in their history. But no, let it be either Rosenior or Fabregas. The squad already looks like a kindergarten. Why not the coaching staff as well, right? I just hope whether they stick with Rosenior or they pick Fabregas, that we don't see 2 more careers ruined by a club that the owners simply don't understand the sport.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting what goes on at Chelsea, but that will be an interesting one to follow, especially if the Blues do not qualify for Champions League football. But yeah, this is the first of many of our transfer window episodes because we're starting earlier than the curve because we believe there'll be lots of activity this summer and we'll be doing justice to all the latest transfer news happening from now right until the start and the finish of the summer transfer window.